showing the film.
Yeah, but it's better for me to. I don't know. It's more practical. Yeah, but I think everyone can hear right in the room, right? Even without the microphone.
No.
So if the microphone misses anything, I think everyone will hear. So just some short questions regarding your movie. So how did it came to be? Of course, you already had the images that you captured in your US tour in '94.
I started it. I joined Lush at the end of '91, and in '92 we did an English tour, we did an American tour, then we did this Lollapalooza tour with Red Hot Chili Peppers and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, and then we went to Japan, and I decided to take. I've got it here actually. It's just a domestic Super 8 camera, basically.
Oh.
And it takes little cartridges for 2.5 minutes of film. But the good thing is like nowadays with an iPhone you can just film everything. But because you're paying for the film, you made sure to kind of edit. You would film in little bursts only when something good happened, really. So I just basically from end of '92. We finished in Japan, and then we made the next album, and then we're in the studio, that's filmed, we made videos, that's filmed, and then we had our next tour in '94. There's even a bit of Lisbon in it, actually. We came to Europe in Lisbon. So up till '96, well, see, it's a bit tragic because this film, Chris, our drummer, died. At the end of the film, it's his birthday, and he took his own life like a month later. So when this was finished, when I filmed it, I think for all of us in the group, we just shut the door on it. So the footage I just put away for years, till 10 years after his death we had a memorial party, and I put the footage together. But that was the rough footage, and then since then, I met Brian here. He's a video editor, met Candelabra, and he edited it for me, and that's what we see tonight. So.
And yeah, that's it. We talked about it before the screening, and there's a little joke in the title of the film, and I think it's noticeable in the film itself because the film is titled "A Far From Home Movie." So that the joke is this home movie because it was shot in that format, the Super 8.
Yeah, the Super 8 was always before just used for home filming, special occasions, weddings, whatever. So
yeah, but it's really far from a home movie
because
home,
yes.
Yeah, in the sense that you had such a care for composing the shots. The images are really carefully thought, and they have a real meaning, and that in the editing it also gained a bigger meaning, and it turned out to be a great homage to your film. Brian is here tonight, right? Brian, if you could just...
You stand up, Brian, I embarrass you.
And this is the first time that you are showing the final...
It is, yeah, first time.
So
World premiere
in Porto. So. And now you've released the film in the Criterion Channel like a couple of weeks ago, right?
A couple of weeks ago in North America, and they're talking about the rest of the world at some point, and maybe even Blu-ray. So.
But are there any plans for screening the film in the festival?
We're going to screen it in London at the end of May, and Emma from the group and I are going to do a Q&A, and then hopefully do some more after that as well.
Now regarding the movement itself, and in Beautiful Noise we will approach it a bit more in a wider scope, talking about all of these bands, all these phenomena. But a frequent question that is asked to most of the people has to do with the pressure that the tabloid media, the British tabloid media, imposed among the greater part of the groups. Mostly probably with the Jesus and Mary chain, because they try to paint them like this enfant terrible that were coming to the underground scene and that were about to release havoc among the society, like the new Sex Pistols.
I think their manager, Alan McGee, he used to joke that they used to make fun of him sometimes because he used to be like Malcolm McLaren, and Jimmy Williams go, Alan, you've seen the Great Rock and Roll Swindle, you know. So it was a lot to do with him at the start.
Like a promotional stunt.
Yeah, just and the riots.
But did you with Lush, because in this moment in time you were part of Lush before you joined Jesus and Mary Chain?
I was, yes. Well, actually, when Lush started, I was working at the music paper, New Musical Express, when shoegazing started.
But when you were part of the band, did you felt this pressure of the media as well, or it was just focused in groups like My Bloody Valentine, Jesus and Mary Chain?
Well, especially when we went to America, you'd find you'd be doing interviews with journalists who seemed to want to talk about the music journalist or about the music journalist in England and about the whole genre and everything like that. So no, not really. No.
So and this genre thing, the movement thing, we talked about it before as well, because could we categorize this as a movement, or it was just like a temporal context? People from this.
Well, it's like any of those movements. It's people within the movements will always say, we're not part of that movement. And it was kind of created by the music press. Especially then, the music press, the NME and Melody Maker, it was weekly, so it was very fast moving. I joined Lush in '92 when shoegazing was popular, but then by the middle of '92, grunge had taken over. We went from '92, I joined the group, we played a 32-date English tour, and we had catering. We had Eat to the Beat catering. It was like, oh my God, it's a big time. 2 years later we did 5 dates. So the situation like a roller coaster. And then we came back in with Britpop. Well, we kind of jumped on the Britpop bandwagon, really. But the genres, it was changing all the time.
As it was really fast in the documentary, you can feel that some of the people kind of disregarded the Britpop that came afterwards. But as you said, Lush jumped a bit into Britpop, The Verve as well jumped. The Verve is not.
We were lucky really because we weren't. Although we seemed successful in England, we got in the lower end of the charts, but we were in the music press a lot, which helped. We lived in London, so we'd go. It was famously someone said we'd go to the opening of a crisp packet. In the gossip columns we'd be in it every week. But we weren't actually that successful. But at least with us, we were signed to Warner's in America. So as you'll see in this film, we'd get tour support. So we'd have a nice tour bus, we'd do long tours. So it was good for us,
And regarding that, what you said, the popularity, this movement, most of the bands, even the ones that were very popular, the impact that they left is probably bigger than the success they had at the time.
Definitely.
With Lush, do
It
you
was
feel
more of an underground thing, really, even though it was in the music press, but it wasn't really. Jesus and Mary Chain were getting the charts, but most of the groups weren't really, or the lower ends of the charts. They were on independent labels. They couldn't really compete with the major, because the major labels could push stuff into charts as well.
And with Lush, you talk about it, the tragedy that ended Lush was a very particular case, but did you feel that these fast transitions, the difficulty to chart, to sell records, was what led to the disappearance of a lot of these bands, that some of them eventually regrouped later in the millennium?
Well, especially something like Slowdive, I mean, they couldn't even headline a big hall in London, but now they've come back and it's great because they were underground and they've done really, really well, so it's brilliant. Yeah.
And now they are like festival bands. They play in Porto, they play for huge crowds.
My daughter Grace likes them. I can't get into Lush.
Yeah,
Actually,
Grace.
I saw it today in Porto. Your records are being sold in Fnac, in all the big convenience music stores. So I think some impact
I look
has.
forward to the royalties.
They will come eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, eventually.
I don't know if anyone has another question for Philip. I know this is a bit ungrateful because we haven't shown the movies yet, but I will invite you as well to stay after
No embarrassing questions.
I have a question. Not related to movie. Do you feel in Porto far away from home?
No, this is my home. No, I said that, it's true, it is nice as well.
You've been living in Porto since?
Since lockdown, really, permanently. But I spent my whole life in London, but I'm much happier here. And creatively as well, actually. I've met friends here, musicians. I think probably I've played in so many groups, I've probably run out of people to play with in London, so I've found some fresh blood here. You see.
That's the thing,
Like a vampire, like a musical vampire.
release music now in Portugal.
I have, yes. Thank you. Population 5 album is out. We're playing next Wednesday at Candelabra. We're playing at Casa de Musica in the bar. Following Thursday, and it's free to get in, so come along and buy the record.
That's it. Thank you very much. So, if anyone wants to talk with you about the screening,
Just get you a drink at the bar and have a chat.
so, thank you very much. Muito obrigado a todos.